If this was me 24 hours ago, I would well,
My energy drink. Natalie, yeah, me too. 15. You always seem like kind of reserved. And our survey, he looks nice.
I'll see if you can get some. Now the Wisconsin. Oh yeah, man. The e-commerce website. Yeah, I got it. I got it like a day. I want it. Ready now? You just got this?
I'm Isabella. I'm Lloyd. Sorry, my kids. Ah, that's good. I was eating.
You can do about it. You're fucking slow. Someone.
Yeah, that's cool.
Stop stealing my clients.
Huh?
Stop stealing my clients.
It's not a client. It's a person.
Marketing committee person. Not case person.
No. I meant that I have to leave.
Allegedly. Jealous. See that website? AMA website? Yeah, that was all.
This is Cayman. Have you met Cayman?
This is my
No way. Jaya has eaten like pieces of bread today. She ate like
we don't do anything with that, bro.
I had her on the screen and I was ready. I was ready to take her.
Bro, we literally just go into class and we watch
And I'm gonna tire that so epic.
I had to go online how she would be.
I gotta go. Wow.
See what a person.
Okay.
It stressed me out, bro. He made breakfast for 2, and then I was like, no, I'm saying if I had her on the side of the house, I'm stressed out. She's crackhead.
That's all I can. Well, it makes me just like
I just
and then he looked at me. You ate that. You ate that. Yeah. Are you here? I want more coffee. So do you have like an apartment or do you like have you definitely have an apartment?
I mean, especially at work. Housing at the USFSAP, thanks to Howie. A lot of young person last night. Transferred to USFSAP because we're so small. Transferred here.
I thought that was. Oh my gosh, for real?
And I was inside of housing. So I had to get it off. You guys I look every single day.
It's nice to see you on campus. I have to, like, I have to drive. You're doing this both business, right? I'm awesome. So I have a friend who was getting a finance.
All kind of things.
She said that it's article.
It's a whole city. You need a car just to go around. The same. That's the exact one. You can see it. Just been to myself.
Survey. Dr. got back.
So I'm trying to read it. Adjust it.
Wants to kind of like redo it. But the thing is, I had two professors already sent it out today, so I can't. So I don't know what to do. Is that you know, like I sent her the email about it. I sent her the survey.
Either right after or like
my answers.
No, I love my art class because we just get to like today, like do this assignment in person in art.
I don't know what to do though because it's already so many different.
And type it in here. Yo, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. We usually give you some minutes, but we have to start on time today because we have a lot to go over. As you know, it's our sponsorship ceremony, and we're really excited about it as well. Exciting news first. I just found this clicker. I have a clicker today. This is such an improvement. I'm excited. So, do we have any first timer here by any chance? One first timer. Yay! Two actually. Nice. So nice to meet you. Oh, we have four. How do you know?
I saw all their names.
Oh. I have my glasses, guys. I'm sorry. But, my name is Gustavo. I'm one of your co-presidents.
She's the other co-president.
This is AMA, American Marketing Association at USF. We meet every Tuesday in the same room. This is so nice. I'm so excited about it.
Mango?
At 4:45, we offer different professional development initiatives every week. What's happening today? So we have this short intro in which we explain to you guys updates and everything about AMA 101 moment, our sponsorship ceremony, and we have our amazing Madison Masterson coming up today to talk to us. And awesome. So
Calendars, we have 5 upcoming events. First one's this Thursday, the International Culture Festival, and we'll also talk more about each of these events later in this presentation. Next Monday, February 27th is AMA Movie Night. March 1st, we're having a scavenger hunt. Friday, March 3rd, we're having a social impact event, and we're going out to Spring of Tampa Bay. And Thursday, March 9th, we're having a lunch and learn. It's going to be graphic design based.
awesome.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you can scan that Google Calendar if you haven't already.
so all the events are on the Google Calendar, guys. It makes much more sense when you have everything in a calendar. So AMA functions like a business, as we have some newbies. I'm just gonna explain this a little bit. We have different committees headed by different people that you can get involved in and get actual business experience. So I have podcasts, marketing, finance and fundraising, case, social impact, membership and DI, and events. Each committee has its directors and ADs, all of board officers. So if you have questions about any of this, just come and talk to anyone in a blue polo, and we're going to find you the right opportunity for you to get engaged. AMA News. I love that we kept this slide. It's so nice. It moves today.
Incredible.
So, as you know, last week we had our Synapse Summit. I know we didn't have a GBM last week. That was last week here because we were all at the Amalie Arena downtown having all those entrepreneurship and business networking experiences. I know that Isabella was there. Isabella, do you want to share something about Synapse?
Synapse. So so the top thing that I learned about was business humanization. So each company has like their brand values and their brand culture, but often what people forget about is the personality of a company. So I was talking to this one venue or like one table with Sebastian actually, and we learned all about the brand humanization. And what this brand does is they go to the different companies and they're like, you know what, your business is really black and white. Let me help you give it some color, some personality. Let's give it some human aspects of it to your company. So they do lots of videos and they reach out and they've got clients. So I thought that was fascinating.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If you didn't go, you just had a little bit of the experience. You gave us a class, guys. That's awesome. And we do have our TikTok competition winner that we want to reveal. So we don't have vice presidents today. We're kind of but here's a winner. Oh, do we have volume?
But
No.
yeah. Oh my god, that's really cute.
Summit in Tampa, Florida. First things first, gotta get dressed for Valentine's Day. Then I headed down to Emily Arena, grabbed my pass, and headed off to my first panel. This was all about esports and branding, and it was so interesting. I then checked out the multiple floors of different businesses and networked and chatted with a bunch of them. Of course, gotta stop by the USF booth. No rules. Then I headed down to the exhibition floor where there was tons of cool tech, like this 3D printer and this paper art sculpture. Even this robot that we could play tic-tac-toe or take a picture with. I grabbed some friends and we headed up and checked out these really cool virtual reality sets. And finally, we ended our day with a social entrepreneurship panel, and that was my day at Synapse.
Awesome. Congrats, Haley. We came back, well, you could see a little bit of how Synapse was. So thank you everyone that went. I hope you enjoyed. I went too. I had the opportunity to go, and it was very awesome. I liked it. So next in line, we have our international fest. So I'll ask Laura to come here and talk a little bit about it, which is happening literally this Thursday. Laura.
Everyone. So I was just preparing for this, thinking, why did we decide to do the International Fest and why it's so important for us? I feel like AMA is such an international organization. Like, I know people from all over the world here, so it's a really important part of who we are. And that's why we created the International Fest. It's an event happening this Thursday, from 5 to 7:30 p.m. at the MoMA Breezeway. If you don't know where that is, it's just a space right in front of this building. So you just go out the glass doors and it's that place that you see. What else? So we're collaborating with 2 student organizations on this one, Braza and the Jamaican Alliance Movement. So it's very special for us that everyone comes. There's going to be foods, games, music, and dances in this event. So one more reason for you to go. It's going to be very fun. Just a reminder that people who attend the fundraising events get 200 points. So if you don't come for the food, you don't for the points. We're also we want to be representing all the countries here in AMA. So if you're an international student and you want your country to be represented in this event, please come talk to me at the end of the meeting, or Slack me or email me at amausf.fundraising@gmail.com. And yeah, I hope to see you all there. It's going to be very fun. If you have any questions or anything at all, oh, this is the QR code to register to Boost Connect. It's a free event for students, so everyone is free to come. Bring your friends, and that's it. If you want to volunteer, please come talk to me at the end.
So next, Movie Monday.
So we are hosting a movie Monday on 27th, and we are giving you options. It will be a little bit relevant to the business and marketing. So please, I request you to scan the QR code and choose the movie. If you don't like the options we have given, please suggest your option, and we will incorporate that option. So hope to see you everyone there.
Scavenger hunt. Who's talking about that one? Cindy?
Okay, so we have rescheduled our scavenger hunt. It is now going to be next Wednesday, March 1st at 4:30. We'll be meeting downstairs in the bunker outside the board's head. It is open to all business majors, or like advertising majors, so like bring your friends if you guys have business major friends. Please RSVP by next GBM on the 28th. That QR code is the registration link. I can also send this in Slack, but yeah, take a picture of that and come out. We would love to see you. It's supposed to be really fun. So.
Thank you, Cindy. Oh, social impact.
Hi everyone. On Friday, March 3rd, we'll be attending a volunteer event at the thrift store that is run by the Spring of Tampa Bay. And it's near downtown. They have a donation center and a thrift that the funds go to supporting survivors of domestic violence. So this will be happening during Women's History Month. We'll be there from 1 to 5 that day, and if you would be able and interested in attending, scan that QR code and you can sign up your information on the form. We have limited spots, so yeah, we hope to see you there.
Thank you, Erica. Perfect. Oh, this is nice. Wait. So I have a major announcement actually, that today we're starting the pre-order of our first design product for our e-commerce, which is the AMA hoodie. So this is a limited product that we'll be offering from February 21st to the 28th. So please rush to the website and buy it. We have all the sizes. Just make sure all the information is there, like the specificities of the sizes and stuff. And maybe you have the chance to be the first one to buy it. Actually not, because I was. I literally just bought it before this meeting. It was such an amazing moment, but I'm really happy. Congrats to everyone, the e-commerce team. This has been a project that we've been developing since last semester. And of course, as a proud president, I wanted to buy it so fast. and I did it. So yeah, I encourage you all to go to the shop. As you know, last year our website was ranked the best in the nation between all the AMA chapters. So it's really nice. You can just go through, learn more about AMA, and now we have the eShop, so you can go ahead and pre-order your hoodie.
And on to membership. So all members get the first 3 meetings that they go to free. And then after that, the membership price for a full annual year is going to be $45. So that breaks down to less than $4 per month. So you can scan this QR code. It will lead to the new member form. And then our membership team will be in contact with you.
Awesome. And stay updated, guys. So our Instagram is USF AMA. We also have a Facebook and LinkedIn page, and of course our website that I just mentioned. So make sure to follow us on our social media, and you can also text at AMAUSF to A1010, not American. When it comes to numbers, I glitch. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
What you
that
said is
works.
right.
Perfect. So, I mean, it's written there, self-explanatory. And before the speaker, right? We have the sponsorship ceremony pretty quick. Changing.
Yes. Sponsorship ceremony time. Help us. You're gonna.
Literally zero difference to me.
Go back.
Same, honestly. Sorry, by the way. Oh, yes. It's not bad. It's just like,
You're stupid.
I actually like it.
I'm gonna close it.
An announcement for that? Oh, just because, guys, we're closing the blinds, so just be careful if it goes on you.
Might as well be pigs.
So Stan, like,
I don't know anything about it, but man.
Oh, yes.
The smaller ones.
I know, of course I am.
I'm an AMA representative.
Hey, actually, I don't have my shirt I tried.
I have a lot of questions. So it's more towards like.
Ready? Hey guys, we're ready. Sorry for the changing presentations, but we are here. So back to business.
So these are going to be the winners of our AMA sponsorships. These sponsorships basically came from local business people in the community that were willing to help us out and help some of our students pay for their membership for the year. There was an essay competition. So the winners of this competition are the ones that were awarded these sponsorships. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say the name of the winners. If your name's called out, please come to take a beautiful picture. So,
That's so
Boy.
holy.
Look back here.
There you go. Hello, you're gonna stick through
I was gonna do it.
Oh, okay, I see it. I'm sorry. I'm
hey,
lost.
congrats.
So
Sounds like doing graduation.
Oh my gosh.
This is more important than graduation. What do you mean?
Your hair gets out. Come on.
There's no fixing that.
You're good.
Hey, you can stand like over there and
We'll take a group picture at the end. So you can just wait real quick.
the next one. Bell.
Let's get your polo.
I'll shake everyone's hands. Okay. Mikey.
I'm right here.
Oh, you changed places. Oh.
You're good.
Next one. Monica. Okay, great.
Stand by for this win.
Touch Naples. Naples is circle. Naples is fucking circle.
This one extra. You said that right.
Out here.
It's so nice.
Here, I'll just.
Okay, thanks. Now, Jennifer. Congrats.
This is my favorite part of it.
Next one. Yes, good.
Congrats, man. Of course.
Next one, Natalie. My secretary. Yay.
Congratulations.
My name is Roman. All the certificates.
Next one. Woo! Hey. Go. Yeah, I'm okay, I'm sorry. That it's a beautiful name though. No worries.
There you go.
There you go. Everyone got the certificate.
That's how it's spelled.
I
Next
missed
one,
all of it.
Sophia.
Send it to you.
It's on the Kahoot, makes sense. It's the time that I got my own name. The picture, go in a minute.
Last one. Hey.
Oh, congrats, man. Thank you all. So group picture now, real quick. Group picture. Everyone comes in the middle.
20.
Two lines, I think, guys, right? I mean, it might fit. I don't know.
There is the light, so you have to either step forward.
I think we're doing
It'd probably be easier if it was 2 rows.
Look right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that works.
Okay.
I'll go down.
You gonna go?
also.
Okay, why not? One down here, bro.
Just the essay first, right?
That's the end.
Hold on, one more. There you go.
Hey, congrats, y'all. Back to.
I'm working on medium like that. That's good.
I know, but like, it's like, oh, no, no, you're Tampa to JFK to Washington.
Application.
By yourself?
I finally.
JFK, right? Okay, cool. Don't fly to LaGuardia, that place. I like Newark.
I only fly to
And even then, it's like New York, it's like.
And then Giles looked at me, yeah, Giles looked at
So I did. Let's see. Like every. I've been to New York on vacation.
Gotcha, okay, gotcha. Now it makes
I
sense.
love New York.
She was like,
So, thank you for staying with us over the
OG
ceremony.
New Yorker.
So we're back to business again. Today we have Madison Masterson coming to
Not like
talk to
Manhattan.
us. He's a USF alumni. Very welcome back. Go Bulls! I'll let you take home from here. Thank you.
hello, my name is Madison Masterson. I am a social media influencer and the CEO of a social media agency called Mad Marketing, localized in Tampa, Florida. I'm also a double alumni of USF. I got my undergrad and my master's degree, both in marketing here. And I am very thankful to be an alumni of USF. Go Bulls! I am going to start by telling you guys a little bit about my life and going to connect that into how I got into social media, how I got into influencer marketing and branding, what that means to me. And then I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about those things and then give you guys the opportunity to ask questions about those things. So all of my passions for social media actually started for the love of singing and acting. This is actually a picture of me when I was like 11, 12 years old. And that's me and Annie when I was like 10. I was really big into musical theater. Marketing was definitely never something I saw myself getting into. It's not a passion that I developed at a young age. The main passion that I developed at a young age was a passion for creativity. So I started with singing and dancing and then switched over to taking that passion over to social media. And I started on a couple of social media platforms, two that I'm sure you guys have seen, YouTube, Tumblr, and then one that you guys have probably never heard of called Feed. And that's because it only existed for about 5 years and then disappeared. But I spent a lot of time on those creating content, making a lot of really deep connections and friendships. And I really, really developed a love for social media at a very young age. Around the time that I was 14 years old, when I was a freshman in high school, I started having severe health issues. I was diagnosed with epilepsy, which means I have chronic seizures. I was having, at that time, about 5 seizures a day. And because of that, and I was getting severely bullied at the time, I was pulled out of traditional high school and put into a program called hospital homebound schooling, which pretty much meant that I did all of my schooling on the phone. It was almost like COVID, except in 2009 or something like that. So I was very lonely, very isolated. I didn't have many friends. This was a time in your life when, you know, it's very vital to have social interaction. And here I am, bedridden, stuck with just my mom in a house. I'm sure a lot of you know how that would make you feel. Not good. So that ended up making me make my first Instagram page. So I made my first Instagram page and I started sharing my story about the experiences that I was experiencing at the time, my experience with getting bullied, my experience with having seizures, and navigating life at such a young age with disabilities. And it was something that many people, many of my peers really couldn't comprehend, really couldn't empathize with me on. But I knew that through social media that I would be able to spread that message and find others that could. And I started a social media page. I ended up building up a community all around bullying awareness and disability awareness. And I remember I hit that first 10K mark, and as a 14-year-old, that meant the world. It meant so much. And that page ended up getting hacked. So it got hacked, and I was like, well, my journey with social media is over. I'm not doing that again. It was too much work, and I don't know what to do now. So these are pictures of me when I was a child. That was my old social media page, so it got hacked. And after that, I wanted to find a new passion, still being homeschooled, still not having a lot of friends. I did develop a good amount of friends through social media, but still wanting some of those friendships in person. I decided to find a new passion, and that passion was dance. I started taking about 15 hours of dance a week and spending a lot of time dancing and putting all my creativity towards dance. Around this time too was my seizures became quite worse. I was having around 8 seizures a day, upwards of 15 seizures a day. And I remember around the time I was 16 years old, I had gone to a neurologist and I spoke to them about what my future of my life was going to look like. And I told them how I really wanted to go to college. And that was something that I wanted. And the neurologist pretty much looked me in the face and said, with your health conditions, that's not happening for you. It's not happening. It's not in your books. And that destroyed me. And I just remember going home and crying to my parents and not knowing what to do. But then about a month later, I was scrolling online and I found this program called Harvard Secondary School Program, which is pretty much this special program through Harvard University where high school students can apply, get admitted, and go to Harvard for a summer to study. And you get 8 college credits, and you get to live on campus and kind of live that college life for a summer. I applied behind my parents' back. They ended up getting the acceptance letter, not me. So that was awkward, but I ended up going. And after going to this program, I ended up getting this mindset where I told myself I was never going to let someone else tell me what I could or couldn't do ever again in my life, and that I was going to college. Now, what I was going to go to college for, I have no idea. No idea. So around that time, I started a new Instagram account. I felt like I was ready for that. I started showcasing my different passions at the time. And I got admitted to USF. And I got admitted originally as a dance major, which looking at me now, that's probably kind of funny. But I got admitted as a dance major. I was a classical ballet major here. And ended up dancing and modeling professionally for about 2 years. I started working in New York City, training with Joffrey Ballet and working with different photographers. And this was around the time too I started really working with my content creation. I started being a content creator full time. I started getting paid by brands, a good amount of money that could sustain my lifestyle where I didn't need a job. Mostly based off of my dance photography content. But then I ended up having an injury. I tore my ACL while I was skiing. That picture up there was actually taken 15 minutes before I tore my ACL, right before I went up to ski. I tore my ACL the last time down skiing before the trip was over. So I tore my ACL. I was lost. I had no idea what I was going to do. So I was like, without dance, what was I going to do? I didn't know if I was good at anything else. That was the only thing I knew I was good at. I contemplated dropping out of college. I didn't know what I was good at. And I actually decided I'm going to take some business classes. I think everyone maybe had this thought at one point where it's like, business is good for everything. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'll take a business class. So my first class I ever took was basic marketing, intro to marketing, and I took it with Professor Osborne here at USF. Professor Osborne, love her. And that class opened my mind to so many things. I'm one of those students that's really annoying and raises my hand every 5 seconds and likes to talk. And I was sharing my experience with being an influencer. And at the time, when I was a child doing this, it was something that didn't have a name. Influencer marketing, that didn't exist. It was something that I just stumbled upon, started doing. I had no idea what I was doing, but I realized that throughout my life I had developed these skills, and that professor and that course helped open my eyes to the fact that I was really, really good at marketing, and I had a lot to learn, but it was something that I was already passionate about, that I already had some skill set. So I decided that I was going to major in marketing. I found a new dream that I wanted to work in social media marketing full time. I wanted to get my MBA at Harvard someday. I came up with these new dreams that finally were pushing me forward. And that was also when I started what is now Mad Marketing. At the time was a freelance company of 1 just myself. And I just started freelancing with any company I could find. I would find any client, even if they were paying me $1, I didn't care. I just wanted the experience, and I started just trying to get my skill set up, working with as many people as I could. College, it happened. It was crazy. It was a good time. I had a lot of experiences. I got to be in Miss USF, and I started an organization on campus called Bulls Against Bullying. I joined a sorority. I joined a business fraternity. I got to go to the Capitol in Florida, and I had so many experiences I never thought I was going to be able to have. I graduated. Woo! Graduation! I graduated. I ended up becoming a 25 under 25 recipient here in the Muma College of Business, and I got a full ride to get my master's degree. Got my master's degree. I got to work with Dr. Jarrett back there. Worked under her for 2 classes, so that was a great experience because she's fabulous. So now I get to create content and run a business full time, and that's what I do. And here's some content that I've created over the years. Every single piece of content here was actually created for a company. All of these content is me. I can't share content of others. That is illegal. But all of these were created for businesses. So I just wanted to share a little bit of content. There's a snake on my shoulder there. That was fun. I like snakes. I don't. Fun content that I've got to create. Really like bright colors. You'll see through the evolution. And then this was the campaign that I was the most proud of thus far. It was a campaign I did with Adidas and Finish Line. It was the first campaign that ever paid me 5 figures for a social media post. And it was a great experience. I've got to work with them numerous times now with different clients and absolutely loved them. So now I have got to work with thousands of brands. I've been featured on BuzzFeed, 83 Degrees Media, USF. Got to have a lot of fun experiences, all because I took a chance and I pushed myself past boundaries that other people were telling me that I would never ever be able to get near. At Mad Marketing now, we have had hundreds of brands that we've worked with, thousands of campaigns. We also run an internship and mentorship program. We've had over 70 interns in our program. This program started in 2020, so over the last 3 years, we've had 70 interns in our program. And here's some of the cool companies that we've got to work with over the last 3 years. Most of these are the last 3 years. All of them were quite amazing. The ones that aren't amazing, I made sure not to include, because there are some companies that aren't amazing. Keep that in your mind. Yeah, fun stuff. And how did I get here? Personal branding, influencer marketing, and social media marketing. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what these things mean to me, and then I'm going to go through on a very baseline of what they are, how you can utilize them. So branding, social media marketing, influencer marketing. Branding. All right, the process of creating an identity for yourself as an individual or business. These are the 3 steps that I took for myself to develop myself into a company. And not everyone needs to do this. I think that this part right here in the branding process, you're going to need to really identify what you want for yourself. Social media marketing, this is the second step after you finish your branding process, and I'm going to go into these deeper. But social media marketing, the use of social media platforms to share tailored content to promote your identity to your target market and pursue your social media marketing goals. These are some examples of different goals. There are thousands of goals that you can have, but increasing brand awareness, generating leads and sales, growing your brand's audience, boosting community engagement, driving traffic to your website. keeping those goals in mind before creating a social media strategy is very, very important. And then last, influencer marketing, a marketing technique where brands work with social media influencers to promote their products or services. In my company at Mad Marketing, these are actually our 3 main services that we offer. And the reason why that is because I believe that these are a stepping stone process. That once you've branded, you go to social media marketing. Once you've done your social media marketing, you start your influencer marketing. These all connect together into a cohesive marketing plan that can work for most companies. Personal branding. So these are the main steps that I would take for personal branding. So first step is establishing a vision for your personal brand. This is something that I would recommend everyone doing for yourself. And that is setting a 1-year goal, a 5-year goal. I'm sure you've heard so many people tell you this over the years, but it really is very, very important. Thinking about your core values. What do you feel comfortable sharing about yourself? All of these can also be taken and also used on a business scale as well. Ask yourself these questions: likes, dislikes, skills. Here's some questions to think about. Ask yourself when really thinking about your personal branding. What drives me? In what areas do I excel? What work drains my energy? What work fuels me? What settings do I work best in? What industries do I find interesting? Where do I want to be at the end of my career? What impact do I want to have? Really sitting down and taking time to ask yourself these questions is the first step in your personal branding process. Thinking about those things and coming up with answers to these questions are important before you do anything else. Your next step, your target audience and unique selling proposition. Don't share everything about yourself. I have made that mistake many times. Don't share everything about yourself. Figure out, again, back to what we were saying before, figure out what you're comfortable sharing. Only share with what makes sense to your brand and what makes sense to your target audience and what you feel comfortable sharing. Don't let anyone push you to share things that don't make sense to your brand. What makes you uniquely you? Your unique proposition. Think about what makes you uniquely you. What do you give that someone else in your field doesn't? And a big point of advice that I give that might be very contradictory to some other advice that a lot of other people give is I disagree with niching down. And this is a very contradicting thing in the creator economy space, especially, is that we hear this all the time of pick a niche, go down the niche, especially for content creation, pick a niche. And I think it's great, pick a niche, but don't pick too small of a niche where you've niched down so far that that's the only thing that your audience sees you as. Because let's say you wake up one day and you don't like that anymore. And now your audience will not be receptive to anything else. And let's be honest, we're young. It's very, very likely that what you like today, you're not going to like when you're 30, when you're 40, things will change. So niche down into what you're comfortable to, but don't niche down so far. Don't niche down into this is this little tiny thing and that's all I'm going to post about. All right, and then build online assets and check your digital footprint. All right, this is very, very important, especially in our age today. People are going to look you up online. They're going to look you up online. They're going to look your name up on Google. They're going to look you up on LinkedIn. They're going to look you up on Instagram. Do that before they do. Look yourself up on Google. Look yourself up on Instagram, LinkedIn. See what other people are going to look for. There are also websites that can do this for you that will check your full digital footprint. I would recommend maybe looking into some of those. And then after that, start building your online assets. Things that you can build, websites, logos, your LinkedIn, tone and voice guides, color guides, palettes, email signatures, blogs. You can start building guest blogs, things that will make yourself cohesive and at the same time get your name out there. And then the fourth step, which I believe is very important in this process, is finding a mentor and starting to build a professional network. Everyone should try to find a mentor. And I know that you guys, I'm pretty sure, have a mentorship program. Yes, awesome. Finding a mentor is very important. Find that mentor, network even outside of that mentor, and build a cohesive personal brand. Next, social media marketing. All right, there's lots of things in social media marketing. This is obviously very face value of it. I do have some free beginner guides on this kind of stuff too. Feel free to message me on LinkedIn if you're interested in a more in-depth guide, and I can message them to you. But here are 4 different steps that I believe are very important in creating a social media marketing strategy. First step is identifying goals and target audience. Second step is deciding what your most important KPIs are. Your third step is engaging with your audience and sticking to your brand. And your fourth step is being timely, analyzing what works and what isn't working, and improving. So identifying goals in your target audience. The 2 most common goals when developing a social media marketing strategy are increasing brand awareness and community engagement. So with all the clients I've worked with, almost everyone comes to me with these 2 goals. I think it's like 48% and 50% are these 2. They're very, very common. That's not the only 2 goals, but they are the most common. Even within your target audience, you can have subgroups that you may find on different social media platforms. So that's something to think about, that you may have different content pillars, different types of content that you could be creating on different social media platforms, because your subgroups of your target audience may be on a different platform. You know, TikTok versus Instagram are going to have very, very different target audiences and have very different types of content that you will be producing for those. And then use research tools that will do this work for you. So this is kind of a given, but there are hundreds of different research tools you can use out there for yourself, for a business that you might be working for, whatever your future goal is. Try to use some of these tools to do some of this market research for you to make it a lot less tedious. So yeah, different platforms cater to different demographics. I kind of covered that, but don't spread yourself too thin. You know, I hear a lot of social media marketing professionals trying to say, you need to be on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, you need to be on them all. And I disagree 100%. If that is going to make you so you have subpar content and you are not engaging with your audience because you're spread too thin, then don't do that. Pick the 3 or 2 or even 1 platform that is going to serve you and your goals the best, and start there and increase yourself on that platform, and then maybe move on to another. Because if you spread yourself too thin, you're not going to get results. So decide what your most important KPIs are. So focus on the social media metrics that truly matter. Analyzing data that correlates directly with your objectives is much more valuable than focusing on vanity metrics. So I'm not going to sit here and say vanity metrics don't matter at all, because I mean, let's be honest. If we see a social media, if we go on Instagram and we see a profile with 1 million followers and a verification check there, then psychologically we do see some extra credibility there. And that is still something. I mean, now Meta's trying to sell the verification, and I don't know if you guys heard about that, but so maybe that'll go away, but they're not the most important thing, because that's not going to have longevity. It's not going to drive what you want it to drive. Some examples of some measurable social media metrics: reach, clicks, engagement, hashtag performance, organic and paid likes. You're going to look at these and you're going to find out which of these are the most important that you want to really, really focus on, and try to focus on those and measure those to see how you're improving or how you're regressing in your strategies. Social media marketing strategies should be based on numbers in order to be effective, but your goals should be aligned with those numbers. Got to go back to those original goals always from your branding. Those goals need to connect to your goals in your social media marketing. And that's why that original branding is so important. Engage with your audience and stick to your brand. Another reason why your brand before your social media is so important. You've probably seen a post from a specific brand and didn't even see the name, but just seeing the post without a logo and you just knew this is from this brand. You could tell by the colors, you could tell by the shapes, you could tell by the faces in it, you know, the poses, the clothing, and that's because they have a strong brand and they're sticking to their brand. And it just feels like it belongs to them. A strong content strategy will do just that. They'll stick to their brand and only derive and stretch from their brand in a strategic way that makes sense. Engaging with your audience through responding to messages and comments is a given, but creating content as well that engages with that audience is also critical. Examples of engaging content in 2022 and coming into 2023 as well is stories, short form video, posts showing off your human side, you know, get ready with me videos are a common version of that, I would say, and live streaming. So no matter the brand, if you yourself is the brand, if a company is a brand, you want to humanize that brand in a way because everyone wants to buy from a human. That's what sales really is. A human wants to buy from a human. They don't want to buy from a piece of chicken. You know, like they're Chick-fil-A, they're buying from the cow because the cow is humanized. He's making you feel something. He's making you emotional about not wanting him to be dead. He wants the chicken dead, you know? That's how it is. That's how marketing is, and you want to feel something. Be timely, analyze what works and what isn't working and improve. I think this right here is probably the place I see clients fall back the most. I have a lot of clients that have come to me that have worked with 3-4 agencies in the past, and they come and they say, I don't want to sign on with you because I'm scared. Because I've had agencies rip me off. I've had agencies make promises and they fall through on them. And one of the reasons that is that people create a strategy and they stick with that strategy no matter what. Even if it's not working, they go for it. And that's not going to work with social media in particular because things are changing all the time. There are new updates in social media every single day. You know, every time I go on Instagram, his face is on there giving me a new update every day. So you need to be analyzing what is working, what is not working, and researching everything. One of the best ways to do that, researching the best times to post, utilizing a scheduling software. I know that a lot of issues that people have is having a really small team with small resources that they're not there to really be timely and respond to comments, to messages. Using AI can be a great way to get around that sometimes, and having a scheduling platform, maybe having automated message responses that even say, hey, I'm not here right now, but I'll get back to you soon. Even small things like that can make customers or your audience as an influencer feel like you care more. And analyzing, you want to analyze weekly, monthly, every 6 months, and every year to make changes to your content and to your strategy. When you analyze weekly, the main things you'll be changing is the times that you post, I would say, and maybe the hashtags you use, things like that, smaller things. When you analyze monthly, then you may be changing a little bit of your content that you're posting, your content strategy. When you're analyzing 6 months, then you might be changing some really big things, your content strategy completely. And on the end of the year, when you're analyzing, then you're analyzing your whole past year, and you can see things really as a whole and know exactly what changes to make, what things to keep, what things to get rid of, and how to improve. And now here we are with influencer marketing. So here are some popular faces, I would say. We got these two that are the most popular influencers, Gen Z influencers from TikTok, Charli D'Amelio and Addison Rae, and then I don't even need to say her name. All right. So just a little bit about influencer marketing. So this is going to be on Instagram in particular because different platforms have different ways of kind of grouping up influencers by their types. But there are different types of influencers, and the different types of influencers have different strategies, different costs, different timelines. The campaigns are completely different depending on the type of influencer that you work with. Nano influencers are 1K to 10K followers. Micro influencers are 10K to 50K followers. Mid-tier influencers are 50K to 500K followers. Macro influencers are 500K to 1 million followers, and celebrity/mega influencers are the influencers that have over 1 million followers on Instagram. There are a bunch of different niches. Again, these niches also vastly change the cost of a campaign. You know, a campaign in the animal section or the business section will be vastly lower cost than a campaign in the beauty and the health and fitness section or the fashion section. Some of those niches have much higher costs than another niche. So you can see two mid-tier influencers for a similar campaign with the same deliverables have completely different costs, all because of their niche. All right, the main function of influencer marketing is to engage and advocate for your brand's message via external content creators and influencers. By doing this, the influencer will present their content to their audiences, causing your brand to gain more awareness and allowing your customers to become satisfied with your products. So this is something that I would say that last year and the year before was extremely, extremely effective. People always would buy from influencers, and we'll see that in some of our statistics. So why should you utilize influencer marketing? First of all, it's very, very cost effective. Influencer marketing has been seen to be one of the highest return on investments out of our current digital marketing efforts. In a study that was done, it was shown that influencer marketing and email marketing actually tied for the most cost effective online customer acquisition method. And you can see the other different ones on here with affiliate marketing, paid search, display advertising, organic search. Influencer marketing is up there as it's got a very, very high return on investment. Why should you utilize influencer marketing? Influencer marketing is seen as more authentic, and customers depend on influencers to make buying decisions. Customers are tired of paid ads and put a lot more trust in the influencers that they follow. An outstanding statistic from Digital Marketing Institute showed that not only do 49% of consumers depend on influencer recommendations, 40% of them had purchased something after seeing it on Twitter, YouTube, or Instagram. So that's a pretty wild statistic to look at, that so many people are being influenced by these influencers online. Influencer marketing is a great way to increase brand awareness. Many brands built their awareness largely around influencers. Without brand awareness, you have nothing. If you look at Prime, you know, the juice, I'm gonna call it a juice, you know, Emma Chamberlain's coffee. So many different brands have been built. Alani, like so many brands have been built off of the back of just an influencer's name being slapped onto a product. It's insane. Take a name, slap it onto a product, you got millions. You can target your audience directly. So unlike a lot of other marketing tactics, influencer marketing will allow you to target your audience very, very directly. Instead of making guesses and funneling hundreds of thousands of dollars into paid ads, influencer marketing can help you get in direct contact with your audience in an authentic way. You can kill two birds with one stone. This is actually one of my favorite things about influencer marketing, is that in the past, you would have to pay hundreds of thousands, $200,000, $300,000 to have a photo shoot, to create a campaign, to get really, really great content for your fashion clothing, your shoes. Now we can pay an influencer $2,000 and they will create high quality content, post it on their social media. You will get brand awareness out of that. You could get sales out of that. And just by paying some money for their usage rights, you now have access to their content to use for ads, to use for whitelisting, to use for billboards. You can use this content for pretty much anything. So you can utilize one campaign for so many things. So examples of ways to utilize influencers. So a lot of people think of the traditional way, cheese, post, look at me, I got a thing in my hand. That's a great way still, but there's a lot of different ways. You could have influencers use links to your business in their blog posts, guest blogging. You can have influencers attend events, experiential marketing, where they promote your business, have influencers write full blogs dedicated to your brand, have influencers mention your brand in their YouTube video or podcast, almost like a sponsor video. How to find influencers. So this is what my agency really does. We find influencers. We have influencers that are on our books that are our main influencers, and then if we don't have influencers that fit a campaign, we go and we search for the influencers, and we manage the entire campaign from beginning to end. So hashtags, Google, social listening, competitor analysis. There's a lot of platforms that can help you do that. LinkedIn is actually a great way to do that now, with a lot of creators jumping on LinkedIn. I'm actually a LinkedIn creator myself, and I know a lot of creators are jumping up on LinkedIn now. Recruiting through a brand's website, job posting, socials. I know a lot of brands are doing brand ambassadorship positions. You might have seen that on college campuses. A lot of companies do things like that. Influencer marketing platforms, and of course, hiring an agency. And evaluating to see if they fit a campaign. You can evaluate them by their niche, their reach, their voice, their content, as well as their engagement rate. You want to make sure that they fit your brand, that their reach is large enough to have an impact, to give you a large return on investment. You want to make sure their voice matches your brand voice. You know, if you are a kids company, then you probably don't want to hire an influencer that's dropping the F-bomb every 5 seconds, or twerking in their videos. Not that that's bad. I mean, go for it, but probably doesn't fit Barney, So you got to think about what fits the content. And then engagement rate. Something that's really interesting is that the higher up of an influencer you go for, the lower the engagement rate that they have. And that's why there's a really big frenzy around micro influencers, because micro influencers tend to have a lower price point and a much higher engagement rate. They tend to be much closer to their audience, much more engaged to their audience. They feel more like friends, more like a community. Whereas when you go into those mega, to the celebrity, then their engagement rate tends to drop to under 1%, whereas the average engagement rate for a micro influencer is around 3%. So those are things to take into consideration. So that's that. And that's how I became a social media influencer and CEO. I have a lot more information on those things on LinkedIn too, so feel free to reach out, but I'm here to answer questions. So, yeah.
You guys have questions? 5 minutes for questions.
I just had a question in terms of, I guess, the higher saturation, like in recent years, in terms of like influencers. Do you think the effectiveness of that strategy would go down in the next coming years, or no?
I think that is going to more affect the influencers. I think that's actually going to make the effectiveness of the strategy for the companies more effective. But what it's going to do is it's affecting the influencers poorly, because the saturation, there's a lot more influencers, then there's a lot more choices. People are pricing themselves a lot lower than other influencers. So I think it's going to affect the influencers more than the brands and the effectiveness of the campaign. Now, where the effectiveness of the campaigns, I think, are being more affected negatively is more of that de-influencing trend that's going on right now, where people now are losing trust in influencers because of so many influencers not being authentic. So that is where some of that's coming from.
Thank you.
When you were doing modeling, photo shoots, stuff like that, were you frequently paying for photo shoots and stuff like that? Did you have someone do that for you? Did you do it yourself? And then also when it came to content creation, when you first started an agency, did you ever work with another agency to help build you up first before you started your own, before you started Mad Market?
No, I have never paid for a photo shoot. Most of the photo shoots and stuff that I did were either collaborations with a photographer. We would work together just for exposure is what they would all say, and now that's highly looked down upon, but in the past that was very common. I never worked with an agency. I did everything myself, so that's where these steps kind of came in. I think that a lot of it came from just LinkedIn, a lot reaching out, networking. When I went to New York City, I lived in New York City for 3 months, and I lived in Boston for 3 months, so I was connecting a lot with different creatives, and we were all collaborating with each other. So that, and then I actually am a photographer myself, so a lot of my photos I either took myself on a self-timer. My boyfriend over here also has taken some of my photos, professional Instagram boyfriend. So yeah, worked with photographers, boyfriend, myself, whatever works at the time. Anyone else?
I know you mentioned internships. Is that something that we all could apply for?
Yeah, our applications are always open on LinkedIn. Also, you can message me directly on LinkedIn. Just connect with me. It's actually right here. There we go. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. If you're interested in the internship and mentorship program, just message me and let me know that you guys are part of this organization from USF, and I can get you into the program. So, and that goes for everyone. Our program goes every single semester, so we have a program in fall, spring, and summer. Anyone else?
With influencers, I know you usually have a struggle sometimes with reaching out, as a lot of platforms either shadow ban or really dampen your engagement on your post. How do you deal with that when they do that? Because I know it could be a thing that happens from 30 days to however long. Platforms randomly do that to people because either a massive influx of followers or just for a random reason.
So you're asking what I do when someone gets shadow banned?
You get shadow banned, or the platform's engagement or algorithm is giving you less exposure to people.
So I personally have never dealt with being shadow banned. I have had a couple clients in the past that I felt were shadow banned. I mean, the social media platforms don't send you a notification say you've been shadow banned, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
But normally what I've done for those clients in the past is taking a break. You have to kind of take a break for a week and a half to 2 weeks, and on Instagram we would normally keep posting on stories and give it a break, give their social media platform a break, and then continue posting again and hoping for the best. If things can continue being bad, again, it depends on the platform. I know on LinkedIn they actually have customer service that you can reach out to. On Meta, they don't have that, so because they suck. But it depends on the platform. But most of the time, it tends to resolve itself. You just need to stick it out. I think for influencers themselves, it can be really, really dangerous and suck if that's your only income, because you get shadow banned and then you lose all your income. And that's why for all of my clients that are influencers themselves, I always recommend having multiple accounts, a main account, a backup account. So if one account ever does get shadow banned, gets hacked, because I have experienced that as well. I've had many clients experience getting hacked. That you have another account that you can continue getting revenue from, continue your brand deals on, because influencers and the brands do both sign contracts. So even if your content or your account gets hacked, if you've signed that contract, then the influencers themselves can actually get in legal trouble. So yeah. have multiple accounts, be patient, reach out to customer service if the platform actually has customer service. Not Meta. Anyone else?
When you first started doing freelancing, you were just working with like other businesses or brands. Were you like getting into contracts or like offering contracts with other people?
Was I making my clients sign contracts?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. One of my first clients I ever had was actually a real estate agent. And yep, she signed a contract. But again, as I said, when I first started freelancing, money was not really my biggest concern. I was just trying to get as many clients as possible, but all of them did sign contracts. And with contracts, if you are interested in freelancing, there are a lot of really great sites out there that produce contracts. Not that those are fall-proof, you know, obviously having a lawyer look over those contracts is great, but that's a great place to start, is kind of subscribing to one of those sites that help produce contracts for different purposes. That was really, really helpful for me when I first started, because they have contract templates, so, you know, different contract templates for different things. It helped me a lot. Anyone else?
I know since you work with influencers, how often do you see influencers that are like from international countries and from other countries that are not United States? Like, do you work with them, and how often do they get like contracts compared to American?
That's a really good question. You know, I have worked with a lot of influencers that were not originally from the United States, but almost all of them currently live in the United States. And that's because a lot of the clients that I work with are looking for US-based influencers, mostly because the things I was talking about their reach, their location, a lot of that's very, very important. I would say I definitely have seen discrimination in the industry, for sure, towards different people and different types of influencers. So that definitely exists. And I have seen pay discrepancies, and not only from the company side, but from the influencers themselves, that certain types of influencers and the niches, but also certain types of influencers from different locations price themselves very, very differently. And that's something the influencers that work with me, and not, you know, I work on the influencer side and the brand side. So sometimes when I'm working with the influencers, I'm looking for brands to work with them. Sometimes I'm working with a brand and I'm looking for an influencer for the brand. So when I'm working with the influencers, one of the things that I have talked to them about is like, raise those prices. Like, please do not do $50 for a post. That is not enough. Raise it. But yes, I have. There are lots of international influencers, but again, most of them now live here in the United States, especially in California. Yeah, a lot of them are in California. So, anyone else?
Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, I don't know if you can hang out a little bit outside, or you have to go, Madison. If they have questions, they're just shy.
I'm chilling.
You're chilling? Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys can come to her later. Before I let you all leave, I actually promised Lara and Penny that you guys have a quick announcement right now regarding the 25 under 25 program that Madison actually was a part of and just mentioned. So you guys
Great program.
can.
Apply.
Hi guys, my name is Laura.
I'm Penny. Hi.
We're interns here for the Dean's Office at Mama College of Business, and we're in charge of the 25 under 25 program this year. Our great speaker today was a part of that program, and our great president was also part of that program last year. So it's a recognition program for business majors, and it's open to graduate and undergraduate students. There are a few requirements, but it's 3.0 GPA, business major, and it's just to show and recognize students that have outstanding performances in professional development, leadership, community service, and scholarship. So I encourage you all to apply. And if you have any questions, contact me or Penny. Feel free to contact us.
Yeah, I would say it's an awesome opportunity. I also won the 25 under 25 last year. I'm like, they're going through the names. I'm like, I did it too. But honestly, it's an awesome opportunity. The application closes, I believe, in 2 weeks on the 7th.
Yep, March 7th.
It's an essay. No letters of recommendation are required, but encouraged. It's an awesome experience. If you win, it's held at Busch Gardens, so there's a big event at Busch Gardens, a luncheon, whole day paid for you. I know I got a photo with a sloth, which was really cool. I don't know if you got the picture. Oh, the kid was awesome. You also will have your face on the video wall for the rest of the year. So very great. It's very fun when you walk in and you see yourself on the wall. It's kind of like stand. I've had someone recognize me, which is really cool. But honestly, it's an awesome experience. Putting on your resume, your LinkedIn. I've had people ask about it. It's a great way to network and meet people.
And also a lot of business, local business in Tampa, when they're going to hire someone, they reach out to us or they look at our past honorees and kind of contact you for interviews, that kind of stuff. So pretty cool to have on your resume.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Next week, we have our LinkedIn and resume workshop next Tuesday. Hope to see you all here. More information will be shared on social media. And one more round of applause to Madison. Thank you so much. You have something.
And last thing, if you received a sponsorship, just stay back for a couple minutes. We're going to talk about next steps.
And also check in case you didn't use the QR codes. That's all. Thank you guys. Doing like top 5.
You say so.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Case day, that's case
I think after you pay for it, sign up for it. Back to as well. I did an essay for like a scholarship for like GBM.
Okay, I can't check this.